I thought it'd be fun if I read a book, maybe one a day, so we can still feel like we're spending some time together because I'm missing you guys a lot. It's really weird to be home. I love spending time with my family, but I'm missing my school family. So we're going to read Clifford the Small Red Puppy. And I know the picture is going to be a little bit backwards, but you should still get the point. Hi, I'm Emily Elizabeth, and this is Clifford, my big red dog. Now, I have 2 dogs. Do you guys have any dogs? I know some of you remember seeing pictures of them in my office. They're pretty big. One's black and one's white, but she's got a cute little black patch on her eye. Stanley and Lexi are my dogs' names. Yesterday, my friend Martha said, I got my dog from a fancy pet store. Where did you get yours? So I told her how I got Clifford. And I'll tell you how I got my dogs. I got my dog Lexi in 2009 from the SPCA, which is a great place to adopt pets. And Stanley, our boy dog, we got him in 2010 from another family who couldn't take care of him anymore. So then he joined our family. When I was little, I lived in the city. I didn't have a dog. Right? The city closest to us is New York City. It's pretty big. One day, the man down the hall called us. His dog had puppies, and he wanted to give me one. So let me ask you what your favorite animal is. Mine's dogs, but another favorite animal I have are dolphins. I think they're beautiful and awesome. So feel free to send me a message of what your favorite animal is. One puppy was smaller than the rest. The man said, Don't take him. He is the runt. He will always be small and sick. But I love that little puppy, and he needed me. Look how little tiny Clifford is. He's so little. I named my puppy Clifford. He was so tiny that I had to feed him with a doll's baby bottle. I don't know if you can see it, how tiny that little bottle is. Sitting on her lap. We got the smallest collar we could find for Clifford. Look how little. Now, can you think of other types of dogs that are small? There are a lot of small dogs, and there are a lot of medium-sized dogs, and a lot of big dogs. The collar was too big. Look, he's wearing it like a belt. When he began to eat dog food, we had to watch him all the time. What happened? He fell right in the bowl. Face first. Poor Clifford. He was so little that he was always getting lost, even in our small apartment. I don't see him. This says Earth. So where do we think he is? He's stuck in the boot. Look, Emily Elizabeth still looking for him, the dad. What's he thinking? What am I stepping on? Silly doggy's in his boot. Can't get the page to turn. There we go. Daddy said Clifford was just too small. He didn't think he could live through the winter. I was very sad. That night, I told Clifford I wish he would grow to be a big, healthy dog. I told him that I loved him. The next morning, he looked bigger to me. Let's see, is he bigger? Oh, he is definitely bigger. He's starting to get bigger. So what do you think is going to happen? Do you think this is when he starts to being Clifford the big red dog? Let's see. He seemed to have an easier time eating his dog food. And his collar wasn't so loose. I'll show you. Look, it fits around his neck now, not just his waist. In fact, by the time Daddy got home, the collar was too small. What happened? Oh, it broke. It snapped. It's too small. By bedtime, Clifford's tiny basket seemed a little too small for him. Last night he was in the bed with her. Now he can't even fit in the basket. So I let him sleep on my pillow again. My dogs like to sleep in our bed, but they take up too much space and they snore, so they have their own bed they go to at night. Do any of your animals sleep in your bed? Or with anybody else? Animals like to be close to their humans. That was a mistake. Oh my goodness. He got so big he knocked her off the bed. Yikes. Next morning, Mommy thought Clifford looked different. Daddy said, I think he's growing. Do you remember when he was so little, he plopped right into that bowl? Now look at him. He's so big. I decided to take Clifford for a walk. At the corner, I saw a big dog coming. I knew I should pick Clifford up so the big dog couldn't hurt him. I shouldn't have been worried. Clifford really was growing. We ran home to show Mommy how big he was. Look, Dun, 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 dun. Bam! He's bigger than this dog. How does this dog look? He's pretty surprised. Had our apartment door grown smaller? Daddy couldn't believe it. We put Clifford in the garden to sleep that night. He's so big he can't even fit through the door. Uh-oh. In the morning, the lady upstairs called us. It was about Clifford. He is in the window. And it said the lady upstairs called. So he's on the first level, and here's the second level. She must be up here. And that's how tall he got. He's getting so big. Now, let me ask you, is this a real story or a made-up story? It's a made-up story. There are big dogs, like really big dogs, but not that big. So it's a made-up story. And I have yet to meet any red dogs. In fact, all the neighbors were starting to notice him. Look, he's right at eye level of that second floor. Last night he was right here. Now he whoop all the way up there. Emily Elizabeth looks pretty excited about it. She's pretty pumped. The landlord called the police. They came to see Clifford. They said Clifford would have to go. But how? He couldn't get through the door. Look how surprised they are. I mean, I'd be pretty shocked too. So what do you think's going to happen next? Clifford can't fit in the apartment. He can't stay in the garden. Where should he go? Let's see. There was just one way to get him out of our garden. What do you think they did? They had to use a big vehicle. That is funny. We sent him to live with my uncle who lived in the country. Now, the city has a lot of tall buildings that are close together, but the country has a lot of open space. I live near the country. There's a lot of fields and big areas where dogs could run. Look how they put him in this big moving van. Now, Mrs. Scott had moved to Texas, and that's where my son was born. And when we moved back to and from, we had to take our dogs with us. Now, one fit in my car and one fit in my husband's car, and it didn't have to look like this. They sat right in the front seat with us. That's silly. I was sad. I miss my little puppy. I know I'm sad missing you guys. And he missed me. My doggies miss me when I'm not home, too. One day we got a surprise. My uncle wanted Daddy to come work with him in the country. We moved right away. So, who do you think she's excited to see? Who was back there? Clifford was waiting for me. I said, Clifford, stop growing. You are just right. So look how big he is. Can you imagine the amount of food it would take to feed those dogs? So I said to Martha, that's how I got my dog. Tell me again how you got your dog. Martha said, forget it. Her story was not as exciting as Emily Elizabeth's, right? So that's how she got Clifford, and that's how he became such a big red dog. Now you guys can send me messages if you like that story or not, or if you have any books that you like. I have Pete the Cat books. I have all sorts of books. So we'll find one for tomorrow. Or maybe every other day. I don't know. I don't want to stress your parents out with a lot of videos.